Hey guys, welcome back to my watercolor channel, and soon we have Christmas, so I thought I'll make a nice Christmas card with some Christmas gnomes. I put some masking fluid onto the heads and I prepared the colors, which is some turquoise blue and some crimson red, and I used the pure colors. Then I take a brush and spread them carefully onto the head. I used the flat brush technique. I haven't wetted it beforehand, and I have to work a little bit quickly, but what is really important is to add enough water and prepare enough colors or enough paint. And then it's nice to leave some different shades in between despite using just one color. My Christmas gnome is also wearing turquoise blue clothes, so I add some underneath the beard. Then I continue with the female Christmas gnome. I have here a couple, and both are trying to disentangle some Christmas lights, which is usually a small problem during the Christmas time. So we haven't set up our Christmas tree yet, but let's see how much trouble my husband is going to have. And usually I leave the Christmas lights for outdoors hanging during the whole year. It is not common to leave them on until the end of March, as it is quite dark during the whole time. And here as well, my female Christmas gnome is wearing a red dress. And I try to spread it carefully with a thin brush. I mix some green out of turquoise blue and some lemon yellow, and I add it onto the gloves. So it's a really nice small painting, and it doesn't really take too much time. I have here the other gloves of the female one. Has also green gloves, but I leave it rather very dark in green. I mix some face colors for the nose, so I use some of the turquoise blue and the colors that I have used before. So a little bit of a deep yellow and then some red as well, but you can decide about the intensity here. And I leave a small highlight onto the nose, so it gives a nice idea of a round shape. I continue to add a brown onto the shoes. Here a little bit lighter brown, so I can add more contrast. And then I continue to paint the light bulbs. So I add different colors as orange, red colors. You can see it on the side that it's actually bright red. When you do that, make sure that your water is also quite clean, so it's not mixing everything together. Then I add some green lights. I really like those colorful lights during the time, so it feels quite nice to have them. I I added an orange belt for the a female gnome, but I'm not quite sure if it's really fitting because at the end of the day she's wearing a red dress, so it's not really creating a contrast. Maybe a light orange or yellow would have fitted better. I work onto the contrast, so I add a dark red after everything has dried onto the head, as well as where I think there are some shadowy areas. So for example, to emphasize the arm, as well as underneath the nose and onto the folds into the clothes. And this is why it's quite important that the first layer is relatively light in color, so then when adding later on shadows, it really pops out. I do the same with the male gnome, so adding here much blue-green color, and you can see quite clearly the contrast. The first layer of the under the head was quite light, so now the contrast is so much stronger. I emphasize the beard a little bit with grayish colors, but basically I've used the colors that I have here. I mix some of the green and the brown together. I want to have a slight green grayish color and adding it to the hair. As well, at the same time, I have a look where I can emphasize some of the structures. Where are the shadow areas and some smaller details. So it's underneath the nose. It is quite important to add much more color, as well as onto the nose a little bit roundness. Then adding a second layer, a little bit more emphasizing the folds on the clothes. And the same with the blue head. Now it's having already really nice structure, so just adding basically the chain for the light bulbs. Then it basically is ready, but I thought it would be nice to have a small background so it's not just really white there. So I wetted the background with some water and added the colors that I've been using for the Christmas gnomes here as well. A little bit of a turquoise blue, and then some purple when it mixed together with the crimson red, and as well as adding some shadows. And then I make the light bulbs glow, so basically this is why I added as well a background and just wet it a little bit, and then adding the color of the light bulb, and it looks like it's glowing. So for example, here's some orange, and then spreading, and then the last step after everything has dried, just connecting the light bulbs. But yes, that was it. So thank you for watching and remember to subscribe. Bye!